new law went into effect in New Jersey on Thursday, allowing terminally ill patients to opt for a doctor's assistance to end their lives. The Aid in Dying Act permits adult patients with 6 months or less to live obtain and self-administer life-ending medication. Governor Murphy signed the bill into law April 12th. Jessica Gwenzel, whose mother passed away, supports the law.
People in New Jersey and states all across the country right now who are sick and dying and in pain and begging their loved ones to help them die. Nobody should have that much angst and anxiety and pain and fear at the end of their lives.
Of course, this is one of the more controversial things to have happened in recent memory in New Jersey. Passionate voices on both sides. I want to introduce you to Kristen Hansen. Kristen is the widow of J.J. Hansen, a former U.S. Marine who passed away in December of 2017, but not before he became a national advocate against physician-assisted suicide. Kristen, welcome back to Chasing News. How are you?
I'm well, Bill. How are you?
I'm good, and I appreciate your time. There was a study talked about by the New England Journal of Medicine. Now, we're going back about 18 years, but they studied decades of physician-assisted suicide in the Netherlands and determined that almost 1 in 5 needed a physician's assistance, and some had complications like choking and seizures. In New Jersey, there's no provision for a doctor to be present.
That's right, Bill. And the British Medical Journal released an article this year, too, that said physician-assisted suicide can lead to painful and traumatic deaths. Patients can wake up from after taking the medication. It's not just one pill. It's over 100 pills that the patients have to take. They can regurgitate. It can burn their throats, and they can scream out in agony as they're trying to swallow it. So this is an illusion that this is always a peaceful death.
One thing we've talked about before on this show is that there's now an incentive for insurance companies in states that have legalized this to not prescribe life-prolonging medications and treatment because this is a cheaper option. Tell me, you have examples of that.
That's exactly right, Bill. We've seen that happen in Oregon and California now, where there were patients who had their insurance companies deny them coverage for cancer treatment that had a 70% chance of a cure, and offer assisted suicide instead. So what we want people to know is that you have to advocate, and if this is happening, that your insurance company is denying you coverage for care, we want you to reach out to the Patients' Rights Action Fund, and we want you to share your story. We're here to help. You can go to www.patientsrightsaction.org.
Kristen, always good to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Let's bring back tonight's A+ panel. We're joined by Democratic strategist and attorney Bill Caruso and Republican strategist and attorney Matt Rooney. Bill, I'll start with you on this. You know, Kristen Hansen, it's a very compelling story because it's not just the emotion of her losing her husband, but it's this fact-based, reason-based discussion about the state people are in at the end of their lives. Where was the discussion of the reality of the end of life during the debate? You never heard that. It was all emotion.
Well, and I think there was some of that, but I think this is exactly where she should be now. She has phenomenal experience in this place, and she and her husband at the time, the family made a choice and went down this path. But she can educate folks that have a choice now in New Jersey of what they do next.
Once you make life's value relative, you can justify almost anything. And we have insurance companies now beginning to justify ending someone's life when they may have a chance of beating their illness because it's cheaper. That's the door we've opened. Why is the only freedom, though, that New Jersey wants to give me the right to pay taxes or kill myself? That's the only freedom we can get the left to agree to. I don't accept that.
Can't argue with that, Matt. All right, thank you, guys.